If you haven't already, be sure to give part 1 of this mod showcase a watch, where we cover the power of flowers and a whole bunch of superb cuisine. All of which was great stuff, and today's set of content is gonna be no different. So welcome back everyone to Legion, and thanks again to Shadow Mario and Ty Tout for your tiresome work here. They offer us the Sacrifice of Rain and the Legends of the Fall as the next progressions of this massive mod, and from changes to things wet, cold, and loony to a whole mess of unique farming mechanics, we've got our work cut out for us today, folks. So let's get to it. And let us not forget the control we have over just what we can actually get to, mind you. As always, everything will remain at default for our time here. However, I can understand the potential want to adjust much of the growth timers and even rare mob spawns of the latter, Legends of the Fall, for example. I think you'll also get what I mean down the line, but we'll save that for later. Cause for now, let us keep much in line with last week, as we begin here with yet another new growth within the constant, Monstrain. Found solely in the swamps of our world, and primarily near the ponds of the swamp themselves, Monstrain will also drop what is known as squamous fruit, with a 70% chance to drop a Monstrain leaf to boot. Oh, and they are home to new bugs, but we'll be talking about them in a minute. As this squamous fruit here requires our attention. Very much unlike all them plants we covered in part 1, Monstrain drop nothing that leads to us being able to actually plant more of them. Instead, this fruit is exactly that, and it will provide 25 hunger, -5 sanity, and -3 health when consumed. Oh, and it's also non-perishable, which is quite nice actually. However, their greater draw is their ability to remove our wetness levels completely with but a single bite. Good stuff. But now these Monstrain leaves, on the other hand, may not be as enticing. They are perishable, and eating them restores 12.5 hunger, but also knocks us for -15 sanity and -30 health. Not good. And it classifies as monster type food anyway. However, if we think back to superb cuisine, we can actually very well turn something awful into a pretty darn good dish. Rice dumplings. Not only will it provide 62.5 hunger, 5 sanity, and 3 health, eating one actually significantly reduces hunger drain overall to begin with. But now, let's talk these rain donates. They are non-hostile, yes, and they are indeed catchable. Well, with only a bit of help, mind you. The thing is, folks, they are not only extremely fast, but also avoid bigger mobs and players along the way. Rain donates spawn from Monstrain come each morning, and will return home at night. But there is more to these flying insects that needs to be known. And first of all, don't even bother murdering them while they sit in your inventory, as they drop nothing and will be important in a new craft to come to boot. Furthermore, let rain donates do all the actual murdering themselves. For you see, rain donates target other small insects and will kill them instantly, which could come in handy here down the line. And lastly, if you do have the murder juices flowing, killing rain donates outside of your inventory may also drop nothing. However, there is also a 33% chance for rain to start for each insect dead. So a sacrifice for rain, indeed. But moving on here. And since I haven't mentioned it yet, do note that Monstrain regrow every 9 days, and that rain donates respawn very quickly. So when going to make the new Wickerbottom novel, Changing Clouds, the materials should be quite simple to come by. And I am sure you saw this one coming. But as to what the reading of the book accomplishes, the first pass-through rolls in the rain clouds and allows for rain on demand. However, reading it while it's already raining will bring out the sun and dry up all the rain. But now, also note, we can attack with the book in hand to deal 50 damage, but it also is said to do some sort of splashing effect, and I am unsure of the potential of that. But I do enjoy the control over the weather, honestly. But But now we might be entering some reference territory that I am just unfortunately unaware of. Agron Sword. Found within its own set piece down in the caves near a grave, it is quite the unique blade, I gotta tell ya. Not only because Agron themselves will seek vengeance on those who take the blade from its resting place, but also because it's more than a blade. It's a sword-shield combo. While it will provide a bonus to armor protection, one must be aware that it will drain 1.5 health per attack from you if your health is above 50% its maximum. Now, that seems harsh. However, the lower your health gets, the higher the damage of Agron Sword. Up to 93.5 per hit potentially at a mere 1 health. So risk versus reward. Your choice. But let us return to the soggy swamps for another moment to discuss one of the many drop changes to some familiar mods within this mod. Merms and drippy scales. For each merm dead now has a mere 10% chance to drop these new scales, and they are quite important in 2 new crafts to follow, so make note. As the first one being a clothing item, breathing gills. Fork over 3 of these drippy scales for a piece of headgear that increases our movement speed by 20% when wetness is above 0 and 50% when wetness is above 20 or more. Very nice and very fun. Once again, a mod that has more takes on merms and even wetness than the official content out there as we speak. But our next order of business is the Giant's Foot, a craft that I had no idea that I wanted until today. At the cost of 3 drippy scales, 3 pig butts, and 3 bunny puffs, we can have a backpack that automatically switches between whatever weapon and speed increasing item you have within the backpack while engaged in combat. So no, I am actually not switching between my handbat and a walking cane myself. The backpack does it for me, whether I'm going for a hit or running away. Neat stuff. Oh, and as a callback to the old bell and Bigfoot of Solo Don't Starve, it jingles along the way. Have fun. Oh, we will. Especially with this structure here, the Moon Dungeon. Found solely on the lunar island, the pile of ice and bone will seemingly appear to do nothing of note at first. However, if we return to the island come a rainy day, the dungeon comes alive. Well, not exactly, but it does go from a dormant stage to an active one. But the heck does that even mean for us? Well, it means a whole mess of things actually, everyone. When it's active, we can attempt to quote-unquote destroy it via mining, chopping, hammering, or even digging it. However, what we can actually do to it changes every 5 or so attempts. So, you will be needing to cycle through tools if you want to experience some pretty wacky moon apparitions of sorts. And what I mean by that is, every 5 hits, the dungeon will either provide some rocks, moonstone, moonglass, or more, or choose to spawn in a random set of constant mobs that are very ghost-like in appearance, but still function all the same. But not only that, I have been put to sleep, been frozen in ice, set on fire, struck by lightning, you name it. So at the end of the day, I think this Moon Dungeon can honestly just spawn anything in the game and apply any status effect it wants to you at random, following attempts to destroy it. It's pretty cool stuff. But that's not all. Every 150 destruction attempts can and will spawn a boss encounter, and it could be any boss in the entire game. Have fun, but holy crap is it tedious to get to 150 destruction attempts. And even that's not all, folks, because come a full moon night, the dungeon will spawn a boss encounter every 5 attempts, which can obviously get nuts. However, lost in the chaos could be 2 very important drops: the Celestial Orb and the Refracted Moonlight weapon. As we know, the Celestial Orb grants access to low-tier celestial crafts for the Celestial Portal at the end of the day. But this exclusive weapon, on the other hand, is something new entirely. And the Refracted Moonlight will restore 1.5 health to us per hit on nights that are not a new moon night itself. Thing is though, if our health is anything less than 100% regardless, then the weapon deals a mere 3.4 damage anyways, so be mindful there. Remain at full health and enjoy a whopping 85 damage per hit, friends. So alright then, that was the Sacrifice of Rain alone, folks. What comes next? Well, that would be Legends of the Fall, everyone. Essentially, a farming overhaul with new crops and new ways to get old ones. It's all pretty straightforward, as all 15 crops have a chance to grow randomly from normal seeds, and there is really only one new crop in pineapples, but there are some things to note here. There is a possible mandrake crop now that can spawn at a 3% chance per seed, or through directly planting a mandrake in a farm plot. And picking a fully grown crop will put you and other nearby mobs to sleep for a short time. Also, there's a slim 2% chance to get 2 mandrakes per harvest, so good luck. These new pineapple crops have been shown off before with Superb Cuisine, but now we know how to actually go about harvesting them for an upcoming dish, either through random seeds or pineapple seeds specifically. Raw, these half-fruit, half-veggie foods restore 9.4 hunger, minus 10 sanity, and 8 health, while cooked variants will up that to 12.5 hunger, 5 sanity, and 16 health, which ain't too shabby. And finally, the dish I mentioned is Murmur Ananas, which it too is not bad, all things considered. The peppermint plants we can now grow from regular seeds, or pepper seeds specifically, will obviously provide us with peppers, yes, but also something called catmint. And this is what we'll focus on here for a bit. Catmint can be given to catcoons to significantly increase their loyalty timer, reduce how long it takes for them to produce loot via hairball, and have a 10% chance for said hairball to produce a cat wool ball trinket. Not much to note beyond the 9 gold from a Pig King trade, but still, it's all kind of fun. And honestly, folks, in an effort not to bore you with all the details of just how long all these crops grow, how they actually function, and how many crops they give you per harvest, etc., we won't get into it all. Just know that some plants will be a one-time harvest sort of deal, while others will have their trees and or bushes stick around to continue to produce fruits and veg. This mod essentially just offers ways for crops to provide more than one type per harvest, more often than not, with really cool aesthetics mostly. But trust me, you really don't need me to explain it all. So then, that just gives me more time to explain the rest, like the cultivated soil balls here. Fork over 15 manure, 25 ash, and 5 guano for 5 of these expensive buggers to simply just enjoy being wormwood for a little while. Essentially, these soil balls allow us to plant crops anywhere we wish without the need of farm plots, although the growth time of said crops planted via these things will be significantly lower than usual, mind you. Be mindful though, gnats are afoot. Well, 0.7% of the time, and only at night potentially that is, but still. 2 types of gnat swarms have a chance to spawn from any crop come nightfall. And while both will look to mess with your crops and make them wither faster, only one type will actually do any potential damage to you. So watch yourself out there. And there are really only 2 ways to actually be rid of them. Freeze them and then hit them, otherwise they're just going to be dodging literally every attack you attempt. Or use those rain donates from earlier to kill them all instantly for ya. Good luck. And we're going to want to murder these gnats for their handfuls of wings, as 36 of them are needed for this guy here, the Bolt Wing Out. Now, as for how rare the gnats are, here is where adjusting the settings is very much advised. Otherwise, you'll miss out on a really cool piece of gear here. One that allows for us to dodge attacks and spawn a decoy bug thing at the cost of additional bug loot. In short, it's not an armor. It's a backpack that when bug loot is inside of it, a hit taken won't cause damage, but instead take from said loot pile to keep you at tip-top shape. Some loot is more efficient than others, but we're not going to get into all of that. For now, just appreciate how bloody cool it is. And there you have it, everyone. Yet another cool collection of mechanics, crafts, and changes that don't starve together brought to us by Legion. A mod that still has more to share, believe it or not. From an ancient, shocking threat to a new look to our deserts. Join us next week for Legion's finale. Thanks for watching, folks. Thanks to all those who have had a hand in this mod. Well wishes, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.